family-owned Good Karma brand station.
The game is over.
As Goff's being chased by Parsons. Look out! He's got him! First sack as a Green Bay Packer.
And it's the day after.
It looked like a speed of light or a shooting star just coming out of the sky and closing ground fast. I mean, that's why he's here, right?
Let's react to the game and look ahead.
Emotionally, I couldn't be more happy, to get my first win in Lambeau, having amazing fans. I told J-Lo that's our first win, and I can't wait to keep stacking them. We got a long way to go.
This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios. Here's Greg Matzek and Gary Ellerson.
Well, we are back and delighted to have you along with us here, a Victory Monday edition of Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Greg Matzek and Gary Ellerson, the first of, 20 shows? Let's do 20 of these.
Let's go 20, and what does that mean if we're doing 20?
Well, we're likely doing something in February, if you're cool with that. I am definitely cool with that. Happy to have you along for the ride here. We are broadcasting from Potawatomi Sportsbook with a beautiful 2,000-square-foot video wall behind us. The game will be on tonight. Baseball, football, you name it. Week 1 closes out tonight with the Bears taking on the Vikings. Packers fans certainly interested in that. You may have heard Matt LaFleur's comments at the start here in the open that Chris Larson put together. That was not Matt LaFleur talking about Micah Parsons shooting like a star and being impactful, and that's why he's here. That's actually Matt LaFleur talking about Gary Ellerson and why we have him here along for the ride. The former running back in tow again for another episode and season.
You know what? It's great to be back, Greg, and also with you and being on these airways once again. And I think, we look at this upcoming season. We've been anticipating this, but no one saw Micah Parsons being a part of the Green Bay Packers. And if you start talking about what it means for the Packer organization to get a young guy like that at 26, and I know a lot of guys are trying to compare it to Reggie White, but Reggie White was 31 when he came to Green Bay. This guy is 26, which means that he should get at least 2 more contracts out of the Green Bay Packers, and you've got a transcending player that just automatically gives you a jolt into this franchise, which you thought that they would never do anything like this. The Packers never really made a move like this here within the last 20 years. I know they were in on the Khalil Mack trade, and it just didn't come to fruition, but this kind of move that the Packers made right before the start of the season is absolutely incredible.
Pretty good comp there with Khalil Mack back in 2018. I remember riding around my house on a lawnmower thinking, oh my gosh, the Packers are going to get this guy. And they had it all the way down to the 5-yard line. Then the Bears came in and took it over the goal line. And if you remember, Khalil Mack did his best to absolutely wreck the Packers' plans on that opening night at Lambeau Field. The Packers miraculously came back and won that game, but Mack was an absolute train wreck. And you can see what sort of impact Micah Parsons is going to have. So let's dive in deep on the impact of Micah Parsons here. And for those who are just tuning in, there are no other local Packers recap shows the day after the game. No. So this gives you a chance to take a breath, kind of collect your thoughts a little bit, get removed from the game for about 24 hours, and dive in. So we will dive into the X's and O's. We love to hear from you as well at 800-990-3776. But it really is a 30,000-square-foot view of everything that we saw on the field yesterday from a bird's eye sort of angle.
Just so you know, last night I did the post-game show with Steve the Homer True. I told him it was 100,000 view.
Okay, so we got to climb a little higher. Is that what you're telling me? I don't know if my drone can go that high, but we'll certainly give it a shot. Let's dive into the Micah Parsons effect, because we know his potential impact given what he's done in Dallas and just given his resume in 4 short years. 45% of the snaps played on defense, Micah Parsons was a part of. 3 pressures and a sack. Just off the top of your head, your eye test on Micah Parsons. What did it tell you?
Well, there's a lot to unpack there with him, really because of when you first heard the information, right? It not only affected the locker room, we'll get to that, but I think from a fan base standpoint, it affected a lot of people because no one ever thought that we would ever do such a thing. I mean, the Julius Peppers, once again, he was at the end of his career. The Charles Woodson, and truth be told, nobody wanted him. And so the Packers kind of picked him up, and both of those things worked out for the Packers. But this was different only because, and they still are, had been the youngest team in the NFL for the last couple of years. They get rid of Kenny Clark, which was going to be in his 30s, but then you got a player that was 26. They got even younger. And so there's a lot going on. And for a fan base like the Green Bay Packers, no one ever thought that this could happen, and it actually did. And if you want to just move inside the locker room, it not only galvanized Packer fans, it also galvanized that locker room. And here's why. Player standpoint. That means you're going for it. When you get a guy like that, that means we're at Potawatomi, okay? You're doubling down.
Yeah, the chips are in.
Right? You're all in, and everybody in that locker room knows that. Not only does everybody in the locker room knows that, they know what kind of player that dude is. He's a transcending player, and that automatically raises everybody level in that locker room. So you start talking about, we know about the defense, but from an offensive standpoint, it raises everybody level. All 11 guys are out there. They know they got to go a little bit higher. And it raises your special teams, and most certainly it raises then the direct benefit of that is guys on the defensive side of the ball. And that be guys like Evan Williams, which we'll talk about later. There will be guys like Lucas Van Ness, which we'll talk a little bit about. There'll be guys like Devontae Wyatt. There'll be guys like Rashad Gary. I mean, he then directly benefits guys on the defensive side of the ball. You know who else it benefits? Jeff Hafley. But it's a stressor for Jeff Hafley. Here's why. Because now you've got the best player in the league. You got to make it work. I don't know how you got to make it work, but you got to make it work. And I'm just give you a negative, because if you don't make it work, that dude, Micah Parsons, will let you know that he's not happy.
So the Packers unveiled their cheetah package yesterday, right?
Is that what they called it?
They called it the cheetah, right? So they had LVS, they had LVN, I should say, on the field. They had Rashawn Gary. They had Parsons involved. It was the cheetah package. So you got a little cooking in the laboratory to do when you've got this added piece. So now you've got a bona fide All-Pro at the first level, a blossoming star in Edgerrin Cooper at the second level, and then an All-Pro on the third level with Xavier McKinney. So the Packers have not had that. I try to go back in my mind and think of it. We'll ask Jason Wilde what he thinks. But my mind went back to Cullen Jenkins, Clay Matthews, Nick Collins as the closest recent comp to that. I thought Cullen Jenkins was a force on the inside, and he wrecked the Steelers' plans in that Super Bowl.
Right.
Clay was an All-Pro. Nick Collins, an All-Pro, career, of course, cut short. Mm-hmm. But that is the closest that I can come to recent memory when the Packers have had a real dude at each one of those levels.
Greg, great observation by you, because here's why. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but when you're looking to have the number one defense in the NFL, you have to have three levels covered. You have to have a lineman, you have to have a linebacker, and you have to have a dude in the secondary. And right now, they meet all three criteria. This goes back. It could go back to the 96 team, right, when you had Reggie, right, and when you had your secondary was Butler, and then you had a host of linebackers that can do a lot of different things. George Kuntz, you could do a lot of different things for you. And that's kind of, you need to be good up the middle. And right now, that team, the Packers team today, is really good up the middle. They're three levels, they're good.
So let's walk you through a couple of plays from yesterday's game. One was a direct impact play. This is Micah Parsons' first sack as a member of the Green Bay Packers.
As Goff's being chased by Parsons. Look out! He's got him! His first sack as a Green Bay Packer.
Certainly not his last. One of his three pressures on the afternoon. He kind of spun out of traffic as Goff was running toward the sideline. Kind of a covered sack, but the speed with which Micah Parsons closed on Jared Goff, not a running quarterback, I get it, but that stood out to me. Here's another play. It doesn't really show up in the box score as a plus for Parsons, but certainly as they're grading it on tape, the interception by Evan Williams, Parsons deserves a bit of an assist.
Pass intercepted! Jumping in front of St. Brown. There was pressure from Parsons, and Evan Williams has the theft.
So there you go. Jim Nance at the call for CBS. So what you saw in that play is a player going from outside to the inside, and making Jared Goff have to throw the ball a beat earlier than he wanted to, right? It was not the timing of that play was disrupted by the interior pass rush.
Right.
And it caused an interception. So you want to talk about how one player elevates the play of others. There's a great example yesterday in that turnover.
Because his get-off is very explosive, and they know that. I had an opportunity to talk. Truth be told, I did play for the Lions, so I collected a check. How about that? But a good friend of mine is Lomas Brown, who played left tackle for the Lions for a long time, and I think he won a Super Bowl ring with the New York Giants. I had an opportunity to talk to him, and he goes, me being at left tackle, I got to now know where that guy is at all time, and I got to make sure I'm off the count, and I got to make sure that if we're doubling him and we've got a chip, everything goes to him. Now I'm not looking to help inside anymore. I'm not longer his left tackle. He goes, I'm not even peeking inside. If they're going to blitz somebody inside, the running back better pick that up, or the guards got to. So he affects the game in so many ways, in a mental capacity or from a standpoint of how you're going to game plan to block him. He started out, Micah Parsons, the first 5 or 6 times that he was in the game, it was just straight inside rush. Straight inside, nothing pretty, nothing fancy. I'm going inside. And his get-off is unbelievable. And you're right, you talked about Evan Williams getting that interception. He jumped inside right away and got it into Jared Goff's face, and then there's the interception. What's going to happen is the guys in the secondary are going to figure out, our team, Evan Williams and all those guys, they're going to figure out that they can take more chances than they normally would take because they got that guy back there.
It was really fascinating to watch. Parsons used initially on what I would say third downs or passing situations, but then as the game sort of wore on, I remember the Lions offense didn't really do much of anything until the second half. You saw him used in more non-obvious passing situations, showed an ability to set an edge against Penei Sewell on the side of the line of scrimmage. So pretty impressive work overall in what was a dominant performance by the Green Bay Packers. Jason Wilde was at the stadium yesterday. I want to get his thoughts coming up on the other side. There's also a position group nobody is talking about today that I think deserves all of Gary Ellerson's flowers. We'll talk about that coming up. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, just getting started here. Stay with us on ESPN Wisconsin.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. This year, it just feels different.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Listen to WTMJ as the Brewers make their charge to the postseason. Brewers playoff coverage is presented by the Narrow Spine Center of Wisconsin and featured by Annex Wealth Management, Boucher Automotive, and Delta Dental. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Ready to watch the Packers like a VIP? Cousins Subs put you in the center of it all. On the 50-yard line in plush recliner seats, complete with personal TVs and your favorites delivered from Cousins Subs. 2 pairs of fans are selected before each regular season home game to enjoy this one-of-a-kind experience. Enter daily to win the best seats in the house. Only from Cousins Subs. Cousins Subs. We believe in better. See rules and eligibility for details.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde. Our family loves when Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles arrives at our home. And now football season has arrived, so try the green and gold Kringle. Traditional pecan Kringle and cheesecake Kringle topped with green and gold sprinkles. A crowd pleaser at any game day party. Order today at Kringle.com or 1-800-4DANISH. Easy to remember. Kringle.com or 1-800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, not just a treat, it's a tradition and the official pastry of ESPN Wisconsin.
Any coach will tell you, games are won in the preparation. The same's true in cybersecurity. Trend Micro helps businesses move from reactive to proactive with cyber risk exposure management. That means real-time visibility into your risks across cloud, email, endpoints, and networks. For over 35 years, enterprises worldwide have trusted Trend Micro to prepare, protect, and perform. Don't wait for the next threat to blow the whistle. Get secure now at trendmicro.com, because the best defense is being ready before the game even starts.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. The Island invites you to experience the best of fall golf with late season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. Fall golf rates run September 15th through the end of the 2025 season, with tee times starting at $75 and stay and play packages from $125. And submit your 2026 golf package requests early to guarantee choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
Back to school means back to savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. Right now, get $3,000 off your roofing, your siding, your windows, or your bath project during the fall savings event. Don't wait. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com to claim your $3,000 savings and book your free estimate. Exterior Pros and Baths, Wisconsin's trusted home improvement experts. Trust the pros.
This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
Tell me now, do you want it? 'Cause these dancing feet don't cry.
Just moments ago, got an email from the Packers here with their injury report heading into Thursday night's matchup. So the team did not practice today, so it's really more of an estimation on who would have practiced and who would have sat out had the Packers practice. But the name that jumps off the page here as a non-practice participant, actually a couple, Quay Walker, the inside linebacker, and offensive lineman Zach Tom. It was kind of a strange play in the game, and had it gone differently, Gary, I thought it could have been a potential turning point and maybe some drama moments at Lambeau Field, but what appeared to be a pick six thrown by Jordan Love was negated because of a couple of different penalties, one of which we saw Zach Tom, the guy got blasted, I should say. Jordan Love got blasted, fell to the ground. Zach Tom tried to avoid Jordan Love, landed awkwardly, was taken out of the game. Darian Kennard did a fine job in the offensive line, stepped in, but we're keeping an eye on Zach Tom here and his potential availability for Thursday's game against the Washington Commanders. Wanted to welcome in Jason Wilde to our first Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday program. Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin. Greetings, Wilde. Welcome back.
Good evening, guys. How are you guys? And how is Pirate Gary, who was I saw in the press box yesterday? Glad that he's doing well and he's in recovery from his injuries.
Yeah.
What did you do?
It wasn't a football injury. It was an old age injury.
Oh, man.
I just woke up in the morning and my eye was swollen, left eye. Yeah, fine.
Yesterday?
It was on Saturday morning. Yeah. And was worried about whether I'm going to be able to make it to the Packer game. But you know what? You go to the urgent care and then they give you some stuff. They fix you up. And then Jason made fun of me, which was funny. He did the arrgh.
Because he had to wear a patch briefly.
He had an eye patch on his, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you eating too much shellfish? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. That's what happens when you're 62.
Okay, well, fair enough. Well, Gary is not on the injury report. He will be participating in Thursday's contest. I wanted to ask you about Zach Tom, Jason. Don't know if you had a chance to get any info on Zach Tom. Obviously, his injury sort of landed awkwardly. I assume that's the play it happened on when Jordan Love was blasted and ultimately a personal foul was called against the Lions. One of two penalties on that potential pick six play. Is that the play that Tom hurt himself on, and just how bad is it, do you think?
It is the play, and if they were playing on Sunday, maybe he would have a better chance. They're not ruling him out by any means, but it is a concern. It's an oblique injury. Now, it was described as a hip injury when it first happened, but most importantly, they could be down not one but two starting offensive linemen because, as I'm sure you saw from the email from the Packers with the injury report, had they practiced today, Aaron Banks, their starting left guard, also would not have been able to practice. And I guess he felt the need to one-up Zach Tom because he's got 2 injuries that he's listed with. One is an ankle injury and another is a groin injury. So we're talking about a guy that, those 2 guys make up 40% of their offensive line, and they're in danger of not having either one of them on a short week against an NFC contender.
Well, since we started injuries, I'm sure we'll get to the game. But also, we just stayed at right tackle. Then I saw, was it Kennard? I saw him come in the game, and then didn't Belton also play as well?
So I'm so glad you brought that up, Pirate Gary, because I'd like to know what happened there. And we don't have LaFleur today; we get him tomorrow. And I wonder because I thought Kennard actually played pretty well. There's one play where he. You don't see this very often, but there's one play where he was playing right tackle, and he pulled all the way to the left side of the offensive line and delivered a pretty nice block on a Josh Jacobs run. And so I found myself wondering if maybe they pulled him after a series because they thought, all right, this game is in hand, and he's probably going to have to start against the Commanders. So I thought maybe it was, hey, we don't want to get another guy injured who's we think is starting caliber. So again, that is only an educated guess because you're right. They went to Anthony Belton thereafter. But look, this is a team where we had some questions about their depth on the offensive line. And obviously so did Goody that he acquired Kennard after cuts or heading into cuts. So obviously that is already a concern. They lost Travis Glover, who struggled in the playoff game against Philly in January, but was going to be a key piece for them as a backup. They felt like he had really responded to that poor performance. And so it'll be interesting to see where they're at on Thursday because, as you well know from being there, Gary, their offensive line from a pass protection standpoint was fantastic. And the Lions went into that game hell-bent on making sure that Josh Jacobs didn't beat them, and Josh Jacobs didn't beat them. But Jordan Love and 10 different pass catchers managed to beat them instead.
Definitely want to get into that coming up here in a little bit later in the show, and with Jason Wilde, who joins us here on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Another name that stands out on the injury report as a limited participant, again, it's a projection, but Nate Hobbs. It's not a did not practice or would not have practice if we did have practice kind of situation. I thought when he was ruled inactive on Sunday, the chances of him playing on Thursday would be pretty slim, Jason. But then I see this, and I'm slightly encouraged. Should I be?
No. He was listed as limited on Thursday and Friday, leading into the Lions game as well. I don't know if he did any 11 on 11, and obviously this week they won't be doing much of that other than at a jog through speed. But he's still working his way back. Now, it is possible that, all he needed were a couple of extra days, and he wasn't going to be ready for Sunday, but he will be ready for Thursday. So I wouldn't rule it out. But if he had gone from being a DNP all week last week and then been limited today, I would have seen that as encouraging. And it's the opposite with Jaden Reed, right? Jaden Reed is listed as a DNP today, but with that Jones fracture in his foot that he is insistent on playing through and was pretty darn good playing through yesterday. I think it's more of that's going to be his kind of modus operandi throughout most practice weeks, where he's going to limit his practice work. He didn't practice last week on Wednesday. He was then limited on Thursday and Friday. I think they just want to get him to the game every week and then allow him to do what he did yesterday. He sure didn't look like a guy who hadn't practiced a lot.
Well, I guess what everybody wants to talk about, and I'm sure you've probably talked about it already on the many shows that you're on here, but the Micah Parsons effect on this team, your thoughts on game day against the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, I'm not going to give him a gold jacket like your buddy Leroy Butler has by any means. But I am going to compare him to Leroy and Reggie and Charles Woodson and Clay Matthews for this reason. He is very clearly a target guy, and I don't mean shopping there. He is the guy that opposing offensive coordinators, and you know this from all the time you spent with 36, that Super Bowl that they lost, all that the Denver Broncos were focused on was making sure that they didn't allow 36 to wreck the game. And yesterday you saw that number one not only made a play himself with the sack that he had, but he had 3 pressures. One of else, I think it was LVN. One of them led to an interception by Evan Williams, and the third one, I think, helped in the pressure and in the sack that Rashawn Gary had. So not only did he make plays for himself, but the attention he drew helped other guys make plays. My favorite one wasn't even a pressure. It was a running play. And if you watch, it's when the Lions are backed up behind their 1-yard line. And they try to run it out of the end zone, and Colby Wooden I can't remember if it was Montgomery or Gibbs that he hits, but he just knocks him almost back into the end zone. Like it was that close to being a safety. And I watched it again today, and Colby Wooden had a really good game. I'm not giving Micah Parsons credit for the plays he made. But if you watch that play, there's 2 guys blocking Parsons and none blocking Colby Wooden, which obviously makes it a little bit easier to make a play.
Packers take on the Commanders here Thursday evening at Lambeau Field. From a fan perspective, Jason, I'm sure many Packers fans are breathing a little easier today saying, okay, all right, we got through that one, and maybe looking at the schedule at the start of the season, you thought, well, if you split there, you're not the worst thing in the world. But now I'm feeling like Packers fans are getting a little greedy, thinking to themselves, well, wait a minute, you just knocked off a pretty powerful team, new coordinators or not. Now you got the Commanders coming in. All of a sudden, the conversation changes with one dominant performance.
Yeah, and look, Gary knows this better than either of us because he played in the league. So Ryan Clark would respect his opinion more than he'd respect ours.
No, he wouldn't.
All the guy does is apologize.
But I mean, a handful of plays. You guys were talking about it as I was coming on. You know, the pick 6 would have changed the complexion of that game in a big way.
Yeah.
You know, there were a couple of throws that Jordan Love made that were exquisite, that if he's not on his game, which we've seen games where he wasn't, this is a much closer game. But that said, I thought the Lions looked like a team that was kind of out of sorts, right? I mean, nothing against John Morton, their new offensive coordinator, but it's going to take him a while. And it's going to take Jared Goff. It's just a different deal. And Ben Johnson was so good at his job, that's why he got the head coaching job in Chicago. So I didn't think the Lions were on top of their game, but nevertheless, it was a really impressive win. And I think fans should be greedy, because you know who else is greedy? The Packers are. And I had a question to Jordan after the game, and it was, you know, you could tell Jordan was really geeked up and we're all old enough to remember this. He was talking like the guy in those old school Federal Express commercials before they changed it to FedEx, where he would talk like 1,000,000 miles an hour. Remember that guy? That was him. Like yesterday, he could not, like he was so amped up and excited that his answers, I transcribed them, and I think I have carpal tunnel now because he said so many words in such a short amount of time. But I had asked him, you know, I could tell that they were really confident, this group, on both sides of the ball. And that was before they got Micah Parsons. And I said, you know, you could feel that confidence, but what you did today, is that an affirmation? Is that a confirmation of what you thought your team was? And he gave a great answer about that, because he believes they have a great team. And if he's right, they're going to win a heck of a lot of games, right? And frankly, the great teams, they win at home. You know, the old formula that Mike McCarthy would always talk to us about, or Mike Holmgren did as well, win all your home games, split on the road. And back then you'd be 12-4, right? And so, are you going to maybe stub your toe on a home game? Of course. That, no one's infallible at home, not even those Holmgren era Packers who won like 26 or 28 in a row at home. But, if they can go back-to-back here and win these 2 home games against NFC North contenders, to be sitting at 2-0, because remember, they only have 8 home games this year. It's the imbalanced schedule. And so they have 9 road games still ahead, and they will be down to only 6 home games in the final 15 games. But to have the head-to-head tiebreaker with Washington would be valuable. So there's nothing wrong with Packers fans being greedy, because I can guarantee you the dudes in that locker room, while they're still recovering from all their bumps and bruises from yesterday and trying to get back up for a game in 3 days, they're greedy too after that performance.
So early, and you mentioned this, and this is how I think it's going to go for the Packers. This is where it should go when they play other teams. Josh Jacobs is not going to beat us. Let's see if Jordan Love can do that. Mm-hmm. And I think you build from there, and that will be, if it was simple, start fast, get a lead, and let your defense do the job.
Yeah, look, I don't know if you have much defensive coordinator experience in your background, but you're exactly right. And look, I'm not saying that Jordan Love can't beat teams either. I'm not saying that would be that they're guaranteed success by approaching it that way. The Lions proved yesterday. I mean, they had 8 or 9 guys in the box a lot, right?
A lot.
And so, but that's what I would do too, right? Because Jordan has shown a level of inconsistency, and that doesn't make him a bad quarterback at all. I think he's a good quarterback, but there are moments, and we saw them back to back in the second half. He had he had the interception that didn't count, but the throw before that, and I didn't ask him about it after the game, but I want to ask him about it tomorrow when I see him. Was that a no-look pass? If you watch the replay, he's not looking at Kraft, and he throws it right to Anzalone. And I don't know if he didn't expect Anzalone to drop there or what, but they are lucky that he dropped that pass. So, again, I'm not saying that the recipe to beat the Packers is to make Jordan Love beat you, because I think more often than not he probably will, like he did yesterday. But if I have to pick my poison, I'm going to stop Josh Jacobs. And you saw what he can do when he starts to, even if he hasn't been productive, when he starts to wear guys down. And you saw him in the second half have more production. So, again, I don't know what the Commanders' plan is going to be. Dan Quinn is a big was a big mentor to LaFleur during their time together in Atlanta. So he knows what Matt LaFleur wants to run. So it'll be a really interesting matchup to see how it plays out.
Pretty amazing. We'll dive into that opening drive coming up in our next segment. But to Jason and Gary's point, Josh Jacobs, 4 rushing attempts for 3 yards on a 12-play, 83-yard scoring drive that featured 3 third-down conversions, including one that was a touchdown to Tucker Kraft. So great start to the season, really on both sides of the ball here for the Packers. Jason will also be getting some rest here. It's a short week for him back at Lambeau for Thursday night's matchup against the Commanders. And, of course, hear him on Wilde and Tausch and Green Bay Game Day throughout the course of the season. Wilde, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us again tonight.
All right, guys, you got to find my buddy Luis there at Potawatomi. He's such a good dude, and he's always taking great care of us, so tell him I said hello.
We will certainly do it. Jason Wilde joins us throughout the season here on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. When we come back, I want to analyze that first drive. You can tell a lot about a season by how the first drive of the season goes. Can't you, Gary?
Absolutely.
Let's dive into it after this.
Back with more on the green and gold after this on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
I love college football. I love everything about it. I don't care how bad it can be, how good it can be, how great it can be, how not great it can be. Give me college football, especially when it comes to fans, and that is tasty pudding for me. especially after this past weekend. If you talk to any fan of Texas, not feeling good about what happened to Arch Manning and their team versus The Ohio State University. If you talk to anybody connected with North Carolina football after Monday night, that debacle involving Bill Belichick's first game as a college football head coach and TCU putting it on them 48-14, then how about those Alabama fans? Specifically that one fan that gave the digit after Alabama got pounded and pounded and pounded all over again by Florida State on Saturday as the number 8 team then in the country. It's always been the best thing about college football. So many people have so much invested mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, that their reactions, good or bad, are always the best things about college football. And it's only been week one. Hey, college football 2025, keep on keeping on. In 60 seconds, Jerry Jones, Cowboys owner, we get it, so stop talking.
Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. On game day, great prep makes all the difference. Same goes for your pizza. That's why I go with Frigidaire's Stone-Baked Pizza Oven. Fresh pizzas go from dough to done in just 2 minutes.
Whether you're throwing a party or squeezing in dinner between plays, this oven delivers hot, crispy, restaurant-quality pizza right from your kitchen. Only from Frigidaire. Game-ready pizza. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Just when we thought we were done with the Jerry Jones, I am right, everybody is wrong by me trading Micah Parsons, the Dallas Cowboys media tour is over. He had one more salvo to put out there on Good Morning America, defending why he decided to make the trade. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it direct. When they say it takes 2 to tango, it also takes 2 to have a deal and to not make a deal. So, yeah. Is there equal blame one side or the other involving Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons and his reps? No. Most of the blame should go near Jerry Jones. I understand why he believed that he had a deal and didn't have a deal and he got crossed. But Jerry Jones, enough. We get it. You're the boss of the NFL. You're the boss of the Dallas Cowboys. You love hearing the sound of your own voice. But me as a Dallas Cowboys fan, I'm just going to stop listening because anything you say is not helping the situation. Anything you continue to talk about, puffing up your ego, doesn't make things better. From now on, it's all about the Cowboys and the team on the field. I am done with Jerry Jones, and so should you. For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman of ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaki County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer cater to golfers of all skill levels. Settled amongst over 250 acres of beautiful private land, the Bog offers a truly unforgettable golf experience. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, and after your round, have a signature cocktail while enjoying our Friday fish fry from the clubhouse overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
You're listening to Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, little lady, I know you're feeling crazy. See what he does this time. Love from the pocket to the end zone, and Kraft has it for a Green Bay touchdown.
Jordan Love to Tucker Kraft, first touchdown of the season, comes on the Packers' opening drive. 12 plays, 83 yards, 5 minutes, 34 seconds off the clock. Well, you can't script it any better than that, right? To get the opening kickoff return, of course, there's a penalty. There's always a penalty on any sort of return, so that's technically how the season started for the Packers. But you end up with the touchdown drive with the home crowd cooking, ready to go, amped up after a full day of tailgating. No better way to start your season than 12 plays, 83 yards, and 5 minutes, 34 seconds.
So when you game plan these things, during the week, you don't really know what defense you're going to get. And especially during the first game of the year, you have no idea what your opponent's going to do because they always put in new wrinkles. I thought that Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love adjusted greatly to that first series in that they knew right away it wasn't going to be about Josh Jacobs. It had to be about Jordan Love completing passes down the field in order for them to win this game. I thought, you're right, I thought the first drive was a masterpiece in that it sent the message to Detroit, okay, you want to take this away? Here's what else we can do.
It was also a reminder of how important play action is to the Packers offense. Because we didn't see Jordan Love under center last year. After he had the injury, it was all shotgun. Jordan Love's not going to be doing much running. He's going to operate out of the shotgun. He can do a couple play action-ish sort of things, but it's not like being under center with those deep drops. And that was Jordan Love really made his mark a couple of years ago. Last year we didn't see it because of the injury. It was a great reminder of the importance of play action pass. So if you're a running back, what do you like about play action pass and for how it sets up the offense?
Well, I think from a running back standpoint, and it's you can almost call it a hot tub game, because sometimes you have to run the football even though you're only averaging 2 yards a carry, which means that you're going to get
to set it up, right?
So you got to set it up, right? You got to have it. You got to set it up, even though you know you're not. You got to show it, and so, which means that the running back is going to take a beating. There's no way those guys are going to block when it's 8 guys, 9 guys in the box. There's no way they're going to block everybody up. I can remember one year in Green Bay, my rookie year, they had a play design. Everything is blocked up, and I can see the safeties coming down in the box as we were showing the film. And I said to Jerry Wampler, who, rest in peace, who just passed away, offensive line coach, I go, who's got that guy? He says, that's your guy. So you know at some point you've got to make guys miss in order to get those extra yards. I think the Green Bay Packers were equipped to handle it. You saw in the second half that the running game started going a little bit more after they warmed down a little bit.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it was a really sluggish beginning to the game. And if you remember how the Packers finished last season, that was the tape. And we had talked about how the running game and the passing game wasn't really in sync like it should be. And I don't know if yesterday is an example of it being truly in sync, but they had to rely on some pretty impactful passing to get out of the issues they had with running. That was not a great drive running the ball. No. Josh Jacobs had 4 carries. He had 3 yards, right? I mean, it was all about their ability to connect on third down especially. But 20 yards to Romeo Doubs on 2nd and 10. 16 yards to Dontavian Wicks on 3rd and 10. These are huge plays. 11 yards to Matthew Golden on 3rd and 6. And then the touchdown pass to Tucker Kraft came on a 3rd and 9 from the 15, right? So the Packers were 4 for 10 on third down conversions yesterday. 3 of those conversions came on the first drive, and it set up a touchdown.
If you go back to the touchdown pass to Tucker Kraft, it was a beautiful design play. And it was spacing amongst the Lions defenders. It looked like it turned into 4 verts, which means that everybody is running goals in their seams, and that's what it turned into. And he found Tucker Kraft across the middle. I mean, that was a perfectly designed play. And you probably had, if the safety went right or if he went over the top somewhere else, this guy would be open. But Tucker Kraft was the guy that came open down the middle. And it was just a beautifully designed first drive, only because you had a game plan coming in, and it was about Josh Jacobs. The Lions took it away. Matt LaFleur says, okay, let's do this, and still were able to get 7 points.
Well, that's what makes the Packers so difficult to defend, when they are able to operate with the full scope of the Matt LaFleur playbook. And I mean the ability to play out of shotgun, the ability to run the ball, the ability to get multiple pass catchers involved. 10 different players caught a pass yesterday. There's a positive spin to that, and there's a potential negative spin to that I want to get into the second hour of the program. And then you've got the ability to operate out of play action. The playbook was compressed last year after Jordan Love's injury. Right. It flat out was. They leaned heavily on Josh Jacobs. My mind goes right to that game against Seattle where they marched down the field, all Josh Jacobs right into the end zone. And that was sort of how the second half of that season was played. And to his credit, Josh Jacobs held up. He's a durable back. So not the greatest game for Josh Jacobs. Still found the end zone, still sort of grinded his way to 66 yards, and he's a focal point of the offense. But now if you're a defense, if you're Washington coming in here on a short week, it's like, well, you will gear up for the top name on the scouting report. It's Josh Jacobs. Well, wait a minute. Shouldn't it be Jordan Love? Should it be this guy instead? Like, now you've got some confusion with opposing defenses on who they can take away.
No, there's no confusion. You have to take Josh Jacobs away from the get-go until it's consistently proven that Jordan Love can beat you. That's just the way it's going to be.
So you think the Commanders are going to look at that and say,
Absolutely.
He's still the guy. 8 is still the guy we got to take away.
Still the guy.
Not worried about 10 yet.
Right, because everything builds off of 8. Play action pass, which we talk about. They got to have it to make it work. So he's the focal point. You got to take it as that. Can Jordan Love continue to? Because if they look at the film, they see what we see. Antelone, which we just heard Jason talk about, that interception. There was an interception returned back for a touchdown. Josh Jacobs, and I always say this to you almost every year we come in and talk about quarterback.
Jordan's going to give you a couple.
He's on the list.
Yeah.
Jordan Love is on my list of quarterbacks that's going to give you 2 shots to get him. You got to get him. Defensive coordinators see that too. You got to get him. And so Josh Jacobs will still be the focal point of stopping, and hopefully Jordan Love gives them a big cherry on top, and they can return it back for a touchdown.
Well, the Lions, were not able to take advantage of those situations yesterday. A drop pick opportunity for Anzalone, and then you had the potential pick 6 negated by 2 Lions penalties. It could have been a very different game, of course, but that is the game of football. That's how things break.
Yep.
And by and large, it was a dominant performance, very drama-free win for the Green Bay Packers. And a good time for it with the Commanders coming to town on Thursday. Coming up next, our crazy stat of the game. Gary and I have both picked one. Also have a little audio highlight recap that we'll play for you. We'll do it after this. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook, Football Monday.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
This offense, Matt LaFleur's side of the ball, dragged this whole team through where they are right now.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
The defense got hot at the right time. That might be what we're seeing here with the Packers defense as well.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
Now through Wednesday, save on 64-ounce selected varieties essential everyday apple juice, 2 for $4. 32 to 64-ounce selected varieties silk milk or creamer, 2 for $7. 6 to 16-count selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream sandwiches, $3.49. 20 to 24-ounce selected varieties Frigo string cheese, $6.99.
I am starving.
Oh no, never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, wow, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against Chicago on December 7th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
I'm shopping at Century alone next time.
Enter by November 12th.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Did you know Love was born November 2nd? Did you know Love was raised in Bakersfield, California? Did you know Love played college football at Utah State? Are you looking for lots of Love touchdowns the rest of this football season? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where we love being your one-stop shop for everything alcohol-related. With our selection of over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, liquor, and mixers, all at the lowest prices in town, Discount Liquor has all your tailgating needs covered. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Discount Liquor, 2 locations, Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings
See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Kick off your game day with a shine. Stop by Tsunami Express Car Wash now with 7 convenient locations across Greater Milwaukee, including the brand new location in New Berlin. The best part, your very first wash is absolutely free when you sign up online. That's a $25 value on us. At Tsunami Express, you'll enjoy premium washes that protect your car, plus free vacuums and detailing tools to keep your ride looking spotless inside and out. Fast, easy, and always looking its best. Roll into the game feeling confident and clean. Claim your free wash today at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
We're back with Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
Greg and Gary with you. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday on ESPN Wisconsin. Coming up at 7 o'clock, Sports Talk Radio royalty will join us, Michelle Smallman. One of the very talented trio on Unsportsmanlike on ESPN. You hear it nationally. She'll be in Wisconsin for the game. In fact, they're doing their shows in Milwaukee on a couple of days this week. They're headed up to the game. She's throwing up the first pitch at a Brewers game on Friday. Going to have a very Wisconsin start to her weekend. And I guess it starts with a visit with us on Monday.
Perfect. Can't wait.
Fair enough.
Can't wait. Second hour, huh?
Second hour of the program.
Right,
yes, of course. 7 o'clock, Michelle Smallman will join us. Time for Stat of the Day. It's going to be a weekly feature here on the program. A stat that maybe jumps off the page to you for one reason or the other. It could be something the Packers did well. It could be where the game was lost in a given situation or a given week. I want to start with what the Packers did, not only in bottling up the run, because they did bottle up the run. There was no run of significance here for the Detroit Lions. 14 yards for Jahmyr Gibbs, his long run of the day. He had 19 yards total. But the stat that jumped off the page to me was Jahmyr Gibbs receiving. 10 receptions for 31 yards. That tells me the Packers' pressure was forcing Jared Goff to go to the outside. He had to get rid of things quick. He did have some shots downfield to Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta's. A lot of talent in the skill positions for the Detroit Lions. And there were so many green jerseys bottling up Jahmyr Gibbs. Everywhere that dude went with the football, there were 5, 6, 7 jerseys bottling him up. And just as we mentioned this, a highlight package pops up showing how the Packers bottled up Jahmyr Gibbs. Right on cue. 10 receptions for 31 yards.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing stuff.
Better than that.
Well, it was a pretty dominant performance here by the Packers defense, but that was one that really stood out to me.
Well, two things here for me, Greg, and we're doing stats, but I'm going to also do a stat and player. Quay Walker's in a contract year, right? And for the most part, his career has been kind of up and down. But if he plays like this, he's going to get a new contract from somebody. It may not be from the Packers, but he's going to get a new contract from somebody.
So what did you notice? What did you notice about Quay?
Well, he was sudden in his decision-making. And oftentimes, and not over the last couple of years, I felt like he was unsure about how to diagnose plays and be sudden with his tackles. In this particular game, he's got 2 tackles for loss. Third, and I believe it was third as far as a leading tackler with the Green Bay Packers this week. And I think for him, and you could say that's a Micah Parsons effect, but Micah Parsons wasn't on the field every single play. He was. So for me, I think those numbers, those stats that he put up, I think will get even better as the year. And I know it's about Adrian Cooper. I think he led the team in tackles. Bullard was second. But Quay was third. I think you're going to see that tandem of Quay and Adrian Cooper, I think, have an opportunity to be very outstanding in the National Football League.
Quay Walker yesterday, 6 solo tackles, 9 total, 2 tackles for loss, and a pass defended. He was patient and then sudden, is what I noticed. He wasn't just running all over the place. He was patient and then sudden. Read and react for Quay Walker. Wanted to play out the first hour with a little bit of a highlight audio montage from the Packers' win over the Lions on Sunday afternoon.
Great performances. First of all, let's talk about the defense.
Yes, sir.
12 tackles out there. We had RG with a sack and a half. Van Ness with a half a sack. Heavy D with the sack.
4th and 2. They throw him down. That's Wyatt.
Micah Parsons with a sack.
Scott's being chased by Parsons. Look out. He's got him. His first sack as a Green Bay Packer.
Can't lie, it gave me chills. This environment, the first time, how they embraced me, the fans, this was one-on-one. This was really just a blessing in disguise. My man Jay Love told me it'd be this nice, and I think, nothing he could have said, I could imagine it'd be like this.
Glad he's with us. Very impactful. I think you look at that interception that Evan Williams had, it looked like he beat Penne pretty quickly. Did I see that correctly in time, real time? It looked like he got a pressure. There was another sack where he got pressure on the quarterback. I'm not quite sure who got the sack, but I thought he was pretty impactful in the limited snaps that he played.
Evan Williams with a pick.
Pass intercepted. Jumping in front of St. Brown. There was pressure from Parsons, and Evan Williams has the theft.
Offensively, we did what we had to do, man.
From the pocket to the end zone, and Kraft has it for a Green Bay touchdown. Here he is throwing to the end zone. He's got a touchdown pass to Jaden Reed. Packers on the board again. Back to Jacobs. Back to extending the record. Now 9 consecutive games with a touchdown. Josh Jacobs.
No, it's amazing. Obviously, I think a big goal for us was to be able to come in here and start the season off fast and start the season on the right note. So to come in here week 1 at home and get a dominant win like that is amazing and exactly what we've been working for. So it feels great.
I was just really proud, and I think of the energy our guys brought, not only in the first half, but I thought we matched it to start the second half as well. Defensively, it was a dominant performance. I mean, I think I looked on the stat sheet, and we had something like 9 TFLs, 4 sacks against a really good offensive line, and Jared does a really good job of getting the ball out of his hands. So I thought defensively, just our style of play was exactly what we wanted.
Give it up for yourself, man.
Back on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. September is here and the kids are back in school. Vacations are winding down. And for a lot of us, that means one thing: time to refocus on the house. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. And to make it even easier, you'll get 0% financing for 3 years. So no interest and no pressure. Don't wait for the first freeze to realize your windows aren't cutting it. Call 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to book your free estimate today. You'll be ahead of the game, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an east side event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
Imagine your home totally organized. At Closets by Design, we specialize in providing affordable, custom-built storage solutions with built-ins and beyond, from garages to new home offices. Our experienced designers work within your budget to design a solution fit perfectly to your needs. Get 40% off plus an additional 15% with 18-month financing. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get started. Let's get organized together.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. The game is over.
His Goff's being chased by Parsons. Look out! He's got him! First sack as a Green Bay Packer.
And it's the day after.
It looked like a speed of light or a shooting star just coming out of the sky and closing ground fast. I mean, that's why he's here, right?
Let's react to the game and look ahead.
Emotionally, I couldn't be more happy, to get my first win in Lambeau, having amazing fans. I told J-Love that's our first one, and I can't wait to keep stacking them. We got a long way to go.
This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios. Here's Greg Matzek and Gary Ellerson.
So great to be back here at Potawatomi Sportsbook, right in front of this amazing 2,000 square foot video wall. The game will be on. Week 1 of the NFL season winds down tonight with the Bears taking on the Vikings. Packers fans, of course, very interested. Settling in here for Monday Night Football. Gary's got his chicken wrap and sweet potato fries. We are dialed in until 8 o'clock.
You forgot about...
Well, the calamari gone. That went very, very quick.
Yeah,
You put a little salt on it. I don't think I would have done that. But the squeeze of lemon was a nice touch.
You don't like salt?
No, I don't mind it. I'm just trying to control that kind of stuff as I get older.
Yeah, you got to have salt in your body to stop the cramps.
No, I understand that. Well, I'm just glad your eyes.
I worked out a lot.
Okay, after events over the weekend. 27-13, the final. The Packers with a dominant win and another chance to stack success here Thursday night against the Washington Commanders. Joining us on the line right now and on the video stream, sports radio royalty, and I think the star of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio, Michelle Smallman, avid Packers fan as of roughly a year ago at least. Hi, Michelle. Do we have Michelle on our video stream? We are working to get Michelle, efforting to get Michelle. Chris is hitting some buttons back there. But yes, if you remember about a year ago, Michelle was on a quest to find a new team to root for.
What?
A new team to cheer for.
What was her old team?
Well, she's a St. Louis native.
Okay.
Was a little bit bitter about the Rams leaving town. Now, I can attest to this. I know what this is like because I grew up in a household where my father was a big fan of the Milwaukee Braves. Mm-hmm. And when they left town, he swore he would never cheer for the Atlanta Braves, right? And now, luckily, he had a new team to cheer for when the Brewers were brought to Milwaukee in the late '60s. St. Louis still doesn't have a football team. Mm-hmm. Some would argue that even the years after Kurt Warner, they didn't have a football team either. Mm-hmm. But the Rams, of course, have relocated, leaving Michelle to find a new team to cheer for. And after all sorts of fans reached out, she settled on the Green Bay Packers.
Well, she made the right choice.
Well, I think so.
And you know what? The wagon is, the gate's down. And the gate's open. We're accepting everybody that wants to come through the gate to be Packer fans. Because you know what? We're good that way. We're nice that way. We want people to have a joyful life. And in order to have a joyful life, sports life, I would say, no better place than the Green Bay Packers and at Lambeau Field.
Well, certainly, and I know the Curve Unsportsmanlike is going to be at Lambeau this coming week, as a matter of fact, doing some shows in Milwaukee and headed up to the Tundra Trio on Thursday for that game. Let me ask you this.
Sure.
It's Thursday Night Football, and it's week 2 of the NFL season. Now, if you talk to any player, Thursday Night Football is not their favorite thing. If you're going to have to do it, this 2-game in 4 days kind of thing, would you rather have it at the start of the season, where on the lead-up, the Packers have had maybe 2 weeks to kind of prepare for two teams, given when preseason ended and when the regular season began?
Two things here, Greg. You're right. You'd rather have it at the start of the season and at home. You don't want to be the away team traveling. So the Packers kind of got away. If it could get any better, it got good for the Packers in that beginning of the year, because what the coaches normally would do, they would game plan in training camp for these teams that you played the first or second game, and you wouldn't even know it. That's what you're doing. So meaning that the defensive front would be of Washington or of Detroit at some point during training camp. And when you got to those teams, those first couple of games, you kind of already knew what was going on at defensive front they were going to get. Now, obviously, there's new film that comes out the first game. You got to change a little bit this and that. But for the most part, you've already practiced against those, well, I'm speaking from an offensive standpoint, those defensive fronts throughout training camp.
I was going to ask you, how much does what happened yesterday, and this goes for the Packers and the Commanders, gets lumped into your game planning this week, or is that work all done? How much do you spend time on what happened yesterday if you're these teams?
Because now it's all new stuff. I mean, everything changes week to week. Deebo Samuels is coming to town. He wasn't with Washington last year. So now you got new wrinkles in that offense that you didn't have last year. And so now the defense have to prepare for Deebo, whereas last year there's no film of that unless you go back to San Fran. But is it Kingsbury? Now the offensive coordinator at Washington is super, super creative in what he does offensively. So it's going to be a big task for the Green Bay Packers to slow that offense down.
But certainly better to be at home, like you said. So I don't know if it's kind of a scheduling quirk just to have it fall this way for the Green Bay Packers. But for as challenging as the opponents are, and I'm not just crediting the Lions at all, they're going to be fine. And maybe the Packers caught them at the best time, given that they have, 8 new assistants or 6 new assistants and 2 new coordinators. Like, that's going to take some time.
Yeah.
I get that. There's still plenty of talent. And then you get Washington. There's a little more continuity there. But as you mentioned, you have some different players. All of a sudden, Bill Krusky-Merritt, a rookie running back who nobody knew anything about prior to the preseason, is their lead back. Brian Robinson is gone. He's in San Francisco. Enter Deebo Samuel, as you mentioned, to pair alongside of Terry McLaurin. De'Ami Brown is gone. He left Washington after a pretty solid year last year. The common thread is Jaden Daniels, because you go from a statue quarterback in Jared Goff, a guy who is not going to elude Micah Parsons, to a guy who can elude Micah Parsons. And it's just a very different dynamic.
So as we get into this a little bit, which is fine, here's what I like to see the Packers do. This is what they did last year defensively. When they played Jalen Hurts or any quarterbacks that could get outside the pocket, they didn't necessarily, Greg, rush the passer. They formed sort of like a pocket to keep the quarterbacks contained. And they wanted the quarterback to step up and maybe get some inside pressure. But it wasn't an all-out pressure on the quarterback. This year, you got to let the dogs hunt. That's the kind of defense you got now.
Well, they've got the speed to do it.
I don't think exactly. I don't think in this game plan coming up defensively against the Commanders, I don't think that we should just play timid and just try to form a pocket around him. Those guys that you got playing right now defensively, you got to let them dudes hunt, because that's what they do. Make Jaden Daniels get off your spot, and then you got to be able to, DBs or whatever, they got to be able to come up and make a tackle. I think if you try to construct in a way where you restrict what these guys do, they become mechanical. You got to let these guys be free and loose. That's the way they play their best football right now for the Packers. It's the way I see it.
They have linebackers who can run, and they did last year too with Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker. But as you astutely pointed out, Quay was a little more relaxed and then sudden, right? He was more diagnosing, read, react, not just run all over the field, right? Jaden might make you miss, right? I mean, he's that good. He might make you miss. But the Packers have the speed to get to him.
Right.
And they've not always had that.
You're taking chances. So you're saying at some point my guy going to get you. We may lose a couple, but we may win more than we lose. So you have to have a game plan to try to even all that out.
Really interesting dynamic because, like I said, Jared Goff is just not a guy you've got to worry about getting out of the pocket. He might step up in the pocket and let one go, but he's not looking to use his legs to do much of anything else. Not the case with Jaden Daniels, who can hurt you in so many different ways. And if you watched the game last night, 81 combined points scored with quarterbacks who know how to do something with their legs. That was just an idea of what Jaden Daniels is capable of here Thursday night at Lambeau Field. We're going to do this. We're going to step aside. We'll try and connect with Michelle Smallman a little later in the program. When we come back, a little game called Buy or Sell, Packers related. Tee up something that happened yesterday that we noticed. And again, it's week 1, right? Overreaction time in the NFL. Are you buying or selling what I'm giving you, Gary? We'll do it after this.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Philly deserves to be the top dog, and Green Bay deserves to be right below. The expectation game and the pressure is ramped up with what happened yesterday.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
All right, you better be ready to take that on. I see Shido talking about Super Bowl. I'm guessing there'll be a conversation about tamping that down a little bit, but the cat's out of the bag. This is a championship window, and the championship window started yesterday.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
This summer, your wishes take center stage at WishFest at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Play your favorite games with your Potawatomi Rewards card all summer for over $1 million in prizes and earn entries into the WishFest prize drawings on Friday, September 26th. Your entries from July, August, and September all count. Plus, 5 lucky winners will have their ultimate wish granted. Wish big, win big. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Mom, when are you going to stop squeezing that tray of pigs in a blanket, crock-pot queso, and vat of chili all onto that tiny countertop?
Abby, we just turned our kitchen and dining room into a massive 15-person island.
Wait, doesn't Buckley, the Chicago fan, make our friend group 16?
Here at PCI, we've been remodeling residential and commercial spaces for over 21 years. From bigger countertops to open layouts, we build spaces ready for every season's biggest game.
Get your home game day ready with PCI. Visit professionalconstructioninc.com.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here, and the Pickler Menominee Falls is now open. Your home for pickleball. 9 premium indoor courts with unlimited play, leagues, tournaments, and clinics all included in your membership. Sign up today for open play spots or check out Learn to Play sessions and clinics. Members get 4 clinics a month included. Memberships start at just $119 a month. Check out all the options at thepickler.com. That's PICKLR.com. And I'll see you on the court.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
Are you listening?
Welcome back in. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Greg Matzek and Gary Ellerson with you from Potawatomi Sportsbook. So Monday Night Football is about to get rolling here. They have the guy who does the national anthem for the Blackhawks games, do it at Chicago, because, I don't know, that'll help them win, I guess. It's a pick'em game, according to the folks here at Potawatomi Sportsbook. I think people are sleeping on the Minnesota Vikings. If they can do what they've done with sort of a fading Kirk Cousins and sort of a meh quarterback in Sam Darnold, I think they will be able to do similar things with a very gifted offensive-minded coach, really good skill position players, albeit with a rookie quarterback, I think they're going to be fine. I think people are sleeping on the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I'm sleeping. Because I don't think
sleeping hard on the Minnesota Vikings.
J.J. McCarthy can do it. I mean, he did well at Michigan, right? National championship. But I just don't think he wasn't asked to do a lot at Michigan. So we'll see. Because in this offense, he's got the best receivers in the league. In this offense, he's got to be able to throw the football and spread it around. We'll see if he can read defenses because that's what they're going to have to count on.
If only there was someone who could break our tie here, Gary. If only there was someone who is sports talk radio royalty, who might be able to do a morning show on ESPN radio every morning. If only somebody from the cast of Unsportsmanlike would be able to join us to break our tie here. I am not sleeping on the Minnesota Vikings. You are. And now I'm told that Michelle Smallman is on the line with us. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me, and I am happy to contribute here and break the tie.
All right, so what do you think? And look, I am no way, shape, or form a Vikings fan. I have never pretended to be, Michelle. I just think it's been kind of a quiet offseason here for the Vikings. People aren't talking about them much.
Could not agree with you more. I feel like heading into this game, there's more buzz and anticipation around what the Chicago Bears will look like under Ben Johnson's stewardship and what Caleb Williams will look like in year 2 with Ben Johnson gearing him up and calling these plays than there is for a team that won 14 games last year, that's returning most of that crew, and that has a guy in Kevin O'Connell that is the quarterback whisperer and knows how to dial things up for his quarterbacks and extract the best out of them. I don't know why people are sleeping on the Minnesota Vikings, but if we believe in Kevin O'Connell, which I do, then we should assume that the guy that he handpicked in the draft, and J.J. McCarthy, he's going to be able to get the best out of him too, a guy who won a championship at Michigan.
What did he actually do at Michigan, Michelle? I mean, other than hand the football off, what did he do?
You know, this kind of reminds me of the conversation around Jalen Hurts, where people are like, what does Jalen Hurts do? It's not a heavy lift. He's got Saquon. He's got that defense. He's got his receiving core. He's got the weapons. J.J. McCarthy is going to do whatever Kevin O'Connell needs him to do. I'm watching the game right now, and his first play is just a quick, easy pitch out. You know, I just think that I believe in Kevin O'Connell and what he can do to dial things up schematically for his quarterbacks. Because it wasn't the same conversation there around Sam Darnold and around Kirk Cousins as well.
Yeah, it was. I mean, but I think Sam Darnold, and you never know how this stuff worked, but coming out of college, we knew that he could throw the football, and we knew that possibly could read defenses. At Michigan, J.J. McCarthy never really had that. I mean, Harbaugh ran the football a lot. I mean, and J.J. had to make a couple plays here and there to make it work. But hey, well, you know what? We'll see. I mean, it's a long season. We don't have to sit and talk about the Vikings and the Bears because Packer fans really don't care. What we really care about, Michelle, is your thoughts on the Green Bay Packers and that butt whooping they put on the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, what was the final score? 27-13, and it wasn't even that close. The Packers controlled the complexion of that game from start to finish, and I could not be more pleased with the way that our Packers look, guys. I mean, coming into this season, they were, 1-5 against the division last year, and I know Jordan Love said that they wanted to start the game out fast and start the season out fast, and boy, did they. He looks great. Micah Parsons obviously changes the complete complexion of that defense. It feels like the Packers have it rolling, and I said that whoever came out of the NFC North I thought would represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, and right now it looks like the Packers could be leading the charge.
So I caught what you did there, Michelle. It was very subtle, but I caught it. And you said our Packers. Now, Gary actually played for the Packers.
Yeah.
Your fandom is relatively new for the Green Bay Packers, but I'm happy to hear that you're embracing it. By using the word our, you are really honing in on this, and I appreciate that.
Yes, I feel like even though I've been a fan for a short amount of time, that not only have I really embraced being a Packers fan, but Green Bay and Packers fans, Packer backers have been so wonderful to me. We are actually getting ready to go there on Wednesday. We're going to be in the house for Thursday Night Football, our entire Unsportsmanlike crew. And that it will be the third time that I've been there in 2 years. So I'm trying to get to Green Bay as much as possible. And, you know, I had a great time when I was there last year. I had high hopes for the Packers, but this year it's exponentially higher.
Michelle, where were you when you heard about the Micah Parsons trade to the Green Bay Packers?
I I believe I was in a car, actually, and I got the push notification, and I was like, there's no way. And I remember, because you know how Twitter now, other people are verified, and you have to really check your sources, because you're like, is this actually Schefter, or is this someone else? But when I saw it confirmed from Adam Schefter, I was like, here we go. It is on. I could not believe it, because I was actually at the time getting ready to go to Connecticut to do a show in Bristol, and I just so happened to be pulled over at the time that I got the push notification. And yeah, let's just say I immediately had to pull over on the side of the road and figure it out and do a video and call into the show. But that was definitely an exciting moment.
So when you're sitting down and watching NFL games, how do you do it? How do you consume it? Because you are in a different market, you are in a different state. Packers Lions was probably front and center with you, given that you had some national games of prominence played earlier in the week, of course, Thursday and Friday and so on. Are you like 8 TVs strong on a Sunday, or are you trying to find the Packers on an NFL subscription kind of thing? How are you doing it?
Yeah, it depends on the Sunday. Obviously, whenever the Packers play, we're going to have them front and center. But with our show, we of course try to be dialed into every game as much as possible. Red Zone helps, having the various apps and the packages help. But we know that there's certain games that are going to be more prominent, or that we're going to discuss in more of a heavy rotation come Monday. So, like, for instance, we knew that Jets-Steelers was going to be a big topic of conversation. Obviously, Bills-Ravens on Sunday Night Football. Packers-Lions was going to be big. We definitely wanted to see what would happen with the Bengals and the Browns. Can Joe Burrow and company get off to a fast start? Because historically, under Zach Taylor, they have not. I believe 1-11 in the first 2 weeks heading into that game under Zach Taylor. So, while there's amazing storylines in every game, I know that there's certain games that we are going to really dive deep into that I'm going to need to lock into. So I have this full setup in my little tiny apartment here in New York City, where I sit on the couch, I have my various screens, and I just take notes throughout the day.
You can move to Green Bay. Is there room for
Wisconsin is wide open.
Yeah, we could,
for Michelle and the entire team,
I
the
would
entire
love it.
Unsportsmanlike team.
Yeah, everything is done by internet and computer.
It's all it's a very easy way of life here, Michelle.
If you didn't want to go in the studio.
I loved it there.
Yeah.
No, that's a great idea, and we're going to be there this week, so you guys just have to convince my co-host to make the move. That's all.
Try it out. Of course, Thursday night, the Commanders-Packers, second game of the year. Your thoughts on that matchup? Commanders made the big deal with Deebo Samuels. He looks pretty good in that uniform. Gives him an extra offensive weapon over there. Your thoughts on that game Thursday night?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one, because obviously Jaden Daniels was one of the highlights of last season. I'm interested to see him in person, but I really want to see how the defense for Green Bay continues to evolve. Micah Parsons playing just over 40% of the snaps in the first game, and obviously completely disruptive when he was out there. I mean, for him to come in that first series and beat Penei Sewell and completely change the complexion of that drive, you're like, okay, this is going to be amazing. But I'm interested to see how he continues to gel with that defensive unit, how Jeff Hafley continues to deploy him, and how they can get after Jaden Daniels in that offense. It's so funny, because heading into this season, while you had certainly strong thoughts about the Packers defense, you thought it was going to be a pretty good unit. So much of our conversations was about Jordan Love. Can he be consistent? Can he stop turning the ball over? This young core around him on the offensive side of the ball as Matthew Golden, how are they going to continue to gel? And then Goody goes out and makes the move for Micah Parsons, and so much of our focus has switched to the defense. It's pretty funny how that happened.
So, Michelle, what was the biggest overreaction on your program this morning, given what happened in the NFL yesterday and even last night with 81 combined points being put up in Buffalo?
Overreaction to any game, or specifically the Bills-Ravens game?
Right, anything that you saw, right? All of a sudden, it's week one, and all of a sudden, T. Higgins and that Bengals offense, boy, that was terrible. And, the Vikings aren't going to be much, although we think they might be. Maybe Baltimore doesn't have a defense. Was there an overreaction of note this morning?
Oh, yes, I would say that there was two. A lot of people are starting to ring the alarm on the Kansas City Chiefs. They're saying that receiving core does not look good. Obviously, they did not have an explosive passing attack last season. Is this going to be a continuation of that, especially without Xavier Worthy? So people are wondering if the Chiefs maybe are going to take a little bit of a step back this year. I predicted that 2 years ago, and then they won the Super Bowl and went to another one. So I'm going to sit this one out when it comes to criticizing Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. That was one. And then a lot of overreaction about the Detroit Lions. I know that the Packers looked really great, but half of that conversation was, hey, without Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn and Frank Ragnow, is this going to be a different Lions team? Did they miss their opportunity last year with being completely decimated by injuries to get it done? So I would say reaction to the Lions and the Chiefs was probably a little bit of an overreaction today.
Well, I would ask you this, because whether people like him or love him in the state of Wisconsin, it could go either way. But 12, that is now 8, that is now in Pittsburgh, got a big win, I guess, against the New York Jets. Your thoughts on what Mike Tomlin, what maybe the Pittsburgh can do in the AFC with 12 or 8?
I love that you said a big win, I guess. Because you're right. It was a big emotional win for him. It was a big revenge win for him. Certainly the storylines were there, but I don't know. I guess a win is a win at any time, especially when you're entering a new team and, you know, your old team cast you aside and said they didn't think you could play anymore. So I guess it was a big win for him to set the tone for his new team. But I'm interested to see if he can do that consistently. I mean, he's entering, his age 42 season, and even though he threw 4 touchdown passes, 2, I believe, in 50 seconds in the second, a 50-second span, in the second half, how is he going to look at the end of the season? Is he going to be able to maintain that? A 42-year-old body is going to react a lot differently after being hit all the time. So while a good showing for Aaron Rodgers, for those who think that he was maybe done, that he still couldn't play, he proved some people wrong, but I'm going to need to see a little more of it before I buy stock in that.
Well, don't let Evan Cohen steal the armrest on your travels to Green Bay, Michelle. We know you'll be in Milwaukee a little later this week. And did I hear this right? Are you throwing out the first pitch at the Brewers game on Friday?
What?
Oh, my gosh. Yes, you heard this correctly.
No way.
I don't you guys,
you're nervous,
I don't get nervous about things. I am so nervous about this. I am so afraid that I'm going to mess this up and not only embarrass myself, but embarrass my teammates, my teammates. Like, imagine me doing it's a 50 Cent where I throw it left and I hit the camera guy or I bounce it. I have these terrible visions of it going totally wrong. So tomorrow, one of my friends is going to a park with me in New York City to practice.
All right.
Wait a minute, on the mound or off the mound?
That's a big question.
We got to know that.
I am getting as close as they will let me. I'm not trying to impress anybody by actually getting on the bump. As close as they'll let me get, I'll underhand it if I need to just to get it across the plate.
Okay. Now, Michelle, have you ever gone skydiving before?
No, I actually one time went to do it, and I had the gear on, and they wouldn't let us go because they said a propeller was broken on the plane. So I was like, you know what? That's the universe telling me skydiving is just not going to be for me. They sent me a message, and I listened.
So here's why I asked the question, because I have gone skydiving before. And in your 45-minute training session before you get on the plane, they tell you probably 14 times what you're supposed to do as soon as you jump out of the plane. And it's like an arch in your back and so on and so forth, and do this at your knees and tuck your chin here. They tell you this over and over and over again. And you're like, yes, I got it. Okay, you don't have to tell me anymore. And then you're 14,000 feet in the air jumping out of an airplane, and you forget everything anybody told you for the last week. Like, you cannot wrap your mind around the conversations you have had anytime recently. I bring this up because you can practice all you want, but it'll be a little different when you get on the mound, so don't overanalyze your practice sessions. Get out there and just enjoy it, have fun. I think you got to do overhand, though. You got to fire it overhand.
Oh, I will. I was just teasing about that. I'm definitely going to do overhand.
Okay, good.
But that is great. That is great advice because I'm only going to really have a little window, maybe like an hour tomorrow to actually get out there and throw the ball because then, we have to prep for the show. We're flying to Green Bay or to Milwaukee, on Wednesday, and then it's a packed schedule until Friday. So I'm glad to know that if I had ample time to practice, it probably wouldn't make any difference. But I'm just going to go out there and have to do it. But please pray for me. Send me good vibes because I really don't want to embarrass my crew here.
Deal.
Oh, by the way, Chicago Bears 7, Minnesota Vikings.
It's a pretty impressive looking drive there.
Williams walked down
Caleb
there.
looking good. I just saw
it. That's what a quarterback looks like. not J.J. McCarthy.
That's what an offense looks like. They
That
finally got
too.
an
All
offensive
that.
mind.
All
They
that.
finally got an offensive mind after 12 decades.
Fine.
All right, Michelle. Hey, by the way, I'll be in the office when you're there on, Thursday. Do you have a coffee order that I can put in? And really for the team. I'd be happy to bring in coffee.
Oh, my gosh, that would be so wonderful. Well, looking forward to seeing you in person. And, yeah, whatever you get, we'll take. Here's the thing. When you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day, especially, nights like this when you stay up late to watch games, we'll take whatever coffee is offered. We are not picky. We just need to be caffeinated.
Are you iced or hot coffee? That's a big question.
It is.
Great question. I'm a seasonal coffee girl. So if it's warm outside, we're going ice. If it's cold out, we're going warm. So I think we're probably still in the iced window.
Okay. All right. Noted. I have taken notes here. Michelle Smallman is unsportsmanlike, the star of unsportsmanlike. I don't feel bad saying that, even though Evan and I are good friends, too. So they will be in town here covering the game and having a lot of fun with their shows up in Green Bay and in Milwaukee. Michelle, thanks so much for your time. We do appreciate it. And we'll see you later this week.
Of course. Thanks for having me and looking forward to seeing you in person.
It sounds good. Michelle Smallman joining us here. Check out Unsportsmanlike 5 to 9 on ESPN Radio. Coming up next, a little game called Buy or Sell. We had to postpone it here a little bit so we could talk with Michelle as we're working through the evening here. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Buy or Sell is next.
Back with more on the green and gold after this on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
Bella Kane takes the stage this Wednesday at the Bud Pavilion's free concert series, Wednesday Night Live. Gates open Wednesday at 6 with Bella Kane starting at 7. Epic bands, unforgettable nights. It's Wednesday Night Live at the Bud Pavilion at State Fair Park this Wednesday with Bella Kane.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Get ready to say goodbye to those bland seltzers at the ballpark. Carbless is proudly Wisconsin-born, crafted by real people. A husband and wife team who wanted better cocktails in a can. They're locally made and blissfully better. Carbless offers a bold, true cocktail flavor that's made for baseball fans. Available in fan-favorite flavors like lemon lime, black raspberry, cranberry, and mango, bringing the craft cocktail bar to your seat. Refreshment that matches the energy of American Family Field is Carbless. Full of flavor, no sugar, and no carbs. Just game day bliss.
Back to school means back to savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. Right now, get $3,000 off your roofing, your siding, your windows, or your bath project during the fall savings event. Don't wait. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com to claim your $3,000 savings and book your free estimate. Exterior Pros and Baths, Wisconsin's trusted home improvement experts. Trust the pros.
Well, you and I, we make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you can cash in. Prize Picks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks is the best way to cash in this football season. Which players are going to go off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the app, use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN. Market is open, and the hot takes are trading fast. From bold predictions to brutal realities, it's time to put the takes on the table. Are you buying or are you selling? It's time to buy or sell.
Always an interesting game to play when you're talking about one game in the NFL season. You have nothing else to really base any of your answers on other than one game. But it is time to play a game called Buy or Sell, Gary. Here's the premise. I tee you up with some sort of observation from yesterday's game in Green Bay, and you tell me if you are buying or selling what I am feeding you.
Sure.
You like it?
Let's go.
All right, here we go. The Packers held the Lions to 20 points under their scoring average from last season. Are you buying or selling the Packers will finish this season with a top 5 defense?
Buying. All day. Were they top 5 last year, or most certainly top 8?
Well, in certain categories. So if you're looking at scoring defense or things along that line, top 15. Run defense was okay. Pass defense a little bit hit and miss. Like they had some things that sort of peppered the top 10, but not across the board.
Yeah, this I'd be buying all day long. I think they're only going to get better with that stat. I mean, they got an opportunity to be a very a dominating defense.
So the reason I bring it up top 5 is the Packers have never won a Super Bowl without a top 5 defense. Yeah. Ever. Franchise history.
Is that going back to Vince Lombardi?
That's going all the way back to when these stats have been compiled. They've never won a Super Bowl
Gotta have it all there.
without a top 5 defense.
Yep.
Are you buying or selling this? The Packers kicker, punter, and long snapper all signed multi-year contracts recently with the team. Are you buying or selling that this group of Packers specialists is the best in the league?
Buying. Absolutely. Punter, what's his name again?
Daniel Whelan.
Whelan is a weapon in itself. Craig Hendrick reminds me of a little bit. I think Ron Wolf said that he was sorry that he let the punter get away.
One of his biggest mistakes.
One of his biggest mistakes. Whelan has that kind of effect on the game. Pushes it back, makes you go 90, which helps the defense out greatly. Field goal kicker, where did he come from? Off the streets. We had to make a move. Went and got him, brought him in, and he's grateful that he's absolutely having another opportunity. He was good before that, but now when you almost get something taken away from you, you come back, I think you're more really appreciative of what you do. You talk about the long snapper, the whole operation right now. You want to talk about the holder too? I mean, the whole operation that they have is absolutely incredible on their special team.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. Do you know the long snapper's name?
No.
That's good. You don't want to know the long snapper's name.
You never want to know the long snapper's name.
You don't want to know the long snapper's name. It is Matt Orzech for those keeping score at home.
Is he from Wisconsin?
It doesn't matter. But you don't want to know. You don't want to know anything about the long snapper. If you know the name, something likely went wrong.
What number is Orzech?
I have no idea.
Fine.
I have not a clue what his number is.
Is he 42?
I don't think so.
If his number is 42, I probably should know that.
Okay. Because that was your number?
Because that was my number.
Oh, yeah.
Can somebody look that up? Is Orzech number 42?
It is 42.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? So, are you ready for this?
Don't you guys have, like, some off-season parties, like all the 42s get together?
I'm in the tunnel yesterday after the game, and I see this 42 walking down the tunnel. I go, oh, my God, who is that guy? Never seen him before with 42.
Long snapper.
Orzech.
Son of multi-year deal.
I didn't see him behind because I didn't see the name, but that's the Long snapper. Or
well, now you will never forget him again, by the way. You will know his name. Oh, my God. Next time you see him, you yell him out. You yell out his last name and say you were the original.
Or is that me and you, baby? me, you, John Brockington. Come on.
Don't you guys send Christmas cards to each other, like all the 42s in Packers history? Like there's some sort of get-together, maybe do karaoke or something?
We probably should.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah. Daniel Whelan had 3 punts yesterday, averaging 54.7 per punt. He had 2 inside the 20. His long of 65 had a 4-yard return. It's just ridiculous.
He's good.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
He's good.
And Brad McManus hit both of his field goal attempts. The long snapping situation has been just totally fine, which is what you want it to be. Yeah. Yes, very interesting discussion on the Packers specialists. All right, here we go. Jaden Reed and Matthew Golden shared punt return duties on Sunday. Yeah. Are you buying or selling that Reed and Golden will continue to share duties all season?
Buying all that. Let me have it.
You want that?
Yes, all that. And if you feel goofy with it, add Savion Williams in there too, because he can do it too. Those 3 guys are good.
Well, I get that they're good, but is it where you want Jaden Reed and Matthew Golden to be used?
Yes.
So the Packers have had
you can switch them out, though. You know what I mean?
Well, they did that yesterday.
Exactly. So you don't have to have them there all the time. But it's another way of getting your playmakers the football.
I was a little surprised they had Jaden Reed back there. Honestly, I wasn't sure if he was going to play. It's about 18 snaps, so that it was kind of controlled, and maybe he was more the safe, just catch it guy, not expecting a return here, versus Golden and his speed. You want to get out into the open. Here's what I recall, and this goes back to the Mike Holmgren days, right? Years and years and years ago. The Packers would typically have some sort of rookie wide receiver, or maybe a defensive back,
right?
But an unheralded future starter handle those duties. It was Jordy Nelson. Yeah. It was Antonio Freeman. Yeah. It was Tramon Williams. Yeah. And as soon as they became the players that they became,
Randall Cobb.
Yeah, forget about the return game. Yeah. Right? And unless it was playoffs, and that was a little bit different of an animal.
Yeah.
But as soon as they had top flight roles within the offense, the return thing was kicked to the curb.
Yeah.
And then the next rookie kind of came in.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about Matthew Golden returning punts. I don't love it. I love his speed. I'm not doubting he could do it. I'm sure he'd be great at it. But that's not where I'd prefer he be.
I'd rather him there than sitting on the bench.
I do like him on the field. That's no doubt about that.
It's exciting.
Buy or sell. 10 different players caught a pass on Sunday for the Packers. Are you buying or selling the Packers do not have a true number 1 receiver and are a pass-catching group by committee?
I think all that is by design. Which means, Greg, throw to the open dude. We don't have to throw to 17 every single time. We don't have to throw it to 87 every single time. We design these plays for guys to get open. Read the defense, throw it to the open guy. How simple is that? Buying. Ask me the question again.
Are you buying or selling that the Packers...
You okay?
Scroll back up a little bit. Are you buying or selling that the Packers do not have a true number 1 and are a pass-catching group by committee?
They're a pass-catching group by committee, but I say that to say this. It's because the offense is constructed of them throwing it to the open guy.
Guys are open, yes, and guys are open. There's no doubt about that. Guys are just flat out open in the system.
You got to get them. We don't have one dominant guy where you got to actually force it into double coverage just yet.
And finally, the Lions have a new offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. In fact, they were without 8 different assistants from a year ago, including the OC and DC. That's a big change. They looked a little out of sorts on both sides of the ball in Week 1. Are you buying or selling that the Packers caught the Lions at the right time, or should there be panic in Detroit?
When you say should there be panic, 2 things can be true, Greg, with that one.
Okay.
Yes, they caught him at the right time. What was your second question?
Should there be panic in Detroit?
Yes, there should be panic in Detroit. Because if they don't get that straightened out, whatever that is, that did not look like the Detroit Lions of last year. Offensively. Defensively, they still flew around and did some of those types of things, but the offense stunk. It just didn't look like Ben Johnson being creative and doing some of those tricky, funny things They didn't do any of that. They were straight vanilla. Came out, they just tried to overpower the Packers up front. Didn't work. In that case, two things can be true. They should be worried and panic in Detroit because they don't get that figured out. They may only win a handful of games, and that's 5 if they don't get that straightened out.
Buy or sell on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. When we come back on the other side.
So did I do this? Did you buy and sell any of this?
You did great. Well, I was just trying to tee you up because you're the expert.
Oh, is that what it was?
Well, you're the expert here, right? You're the former player. You're the expert. I'll tee you up.
I thought maybe you kind of would come at me a little bit, but
I like the long snapper. I like the long snapper thing. I think it's funny that he's number 42. I think that was a cherry on top of that whole discussion. Did not expect that at all. At least I knew his name. All right. When we come back, I'll walk around the league here, week 1 of the NFL. What is real and what isn't after 1 week? And what is Matt LaFleur so irritated about after yesterday's game? We have it for you after this.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Immediate live show streaming. A homepage customized just for you. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN.
It isn't fair to just say they need to put pieces around Jordan Love in order to get to the Super Bowl, but it will also help if Jordan Love plays up to his potential.
The ESPN Wisconsin app. Everything in the palm of your hand.
Just going back to it's fine just doing it the Goody way and growing young and growing together.
Available in the Apple and Android App Store. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app today.
Your path to a degree should fit your life, not the other way around. At Lakeland University, you can personalize every part of your college experience. With a main campus in Sheboygan, evening classes across the state, and flexible online options, you choose how and when you learn. Just graduated high school, changing careers, juggling work and life, they've got options for you. You can even earn credit for experience you already have, or for the work you're doing now, saving time and money. Start customizing your future today at lakeland.edu/ESPN. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. We offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help you navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. At Fifth Third, we're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, yet empowered to make local decisions and build strong community connections. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Is your roof underperforming? Saggy shingles, leaky spots? Sounds like someone needs a little Avondale Roofing. They don't just patch things up, they go all the way. Tight, sealed, satisfied. It's the kind of roof that'll have your neighbors going,
now that's a roof.
Avondale Roofing. They get on top so you don't have to. Call now. Your house deserves it.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S., and they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit LakelandSupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
Hey IKEA fans, IKEA is turning 40 and they are giving you the present. From September 3rd to the 23rd, IKEA is celebrating with a huge gift card giveaway. Every day, 3 times a day, 40 lucky winners will score an IKEA gift card worth anywhere from $5 to $500. That's right, 120 winners every day at every store. Don't miss your chance to join the celebration and win. Visit your IKEA Oak Creek or IKEA.us for more information today. Must be a IKEA family member to participate. 1 gift card per IKEA family membership during the promotion.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion of artistry and flavor with sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com.
Baseball is back.
Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
We're back with Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, pull up to Potawatomi and shoot your shot for big wins. It's a sweet ticket September here at Potawatomi. Play with your rewards card for entries and a chance to win Bucks tickets. That season is upon us soon. More info online. Must be 21 years or older and a rewards member to play. Greg Matzek and Gary Ellerson wrapping up our first Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday program of the season. We'll be back again next Monday with a little more time to digest what happens at Lambeau Field on Thursday. About the only thing, Gary, that Matt LaFleur was irritated by yesterday, it really had nothing to do with what happened on the field. It was more the look and the color scheme in the stands. Here's what he had to say.
But all in all, I was really happy with our performance. I thought the fans that showed up brought great energy, and the fans that sold their tickets to all those Lions fans got to be better.
There was a lot of Honolulu blue.
Yes.
From my vantage point, I don't know what you experienced.
Last year,
was it loud though? Was it?
Yes.
Yeah, the Lions didn't do a heck of a lot great, but was it loud in their respect?
Yes. And last year too. Packer fans, it's got to stop. It just does. It got to stop. And we got a generational player that we just got from the Dallas Cowboys. His first game, he walks in. He's going to be nice now, but his first game, he walks in, and that's what he sees at Lambeau Field. It's embarrassing. It's got to stop. I don't know, if you don't want to go to the game, I don't know how you can do it where you can just only sell them to Packer fans. But not to that was just embarrassing. And these people, they got like 50-yard line seats. It's not like seats like way up high. They're in the front row. It's just embarrassing. It's got to stop. Lions fan came in last year, same way, took over. All we heard last year was Jared Goff. Did you know the Lions fan, they stayed for 4 quarters. They didn't even leave. You would have thought by third quarter they would have had enough. They didn't. They was cheering for 4 quarters. Embarrassing. I don't even know who I'm talking to. I don't even know if y'all listening to me right now. I don't even know if you got a friend that sold it to a Lions fan. But y'all need to talk to your neighbors. That has to stop. If I'm Micah Parsons, if I saw that yesterday at my first game at Lambeau, I'd be like, dude, what's up? Jordan, what's up? What's going on, man? Because I don't know if that's happened with Jerry Jones and them.
I don't know what the situation in Dallas is like. We obviously know it's a tough ticket to get going to Lambeau Field as a season ticket holder. That's a long list. The secondary market is full of opportunities. Not every season ticket holder lives in the state of Wisconsin. That's probably contributing to what's going on here. But for those who always complain about the late games, and those are the games I got to sell tickets for, you had everything you wanted here. Noon game, division opponent, opening week of the NFL, 65 degrees and
great
perfect.
Weather. Yeah.
Generational player recently signed via trade acquisition by the Packers. Now, what else do you want?
Thank you.
For me, I'm keeping my tickets for that game.
Thank you, Greg.
For that game. For sure.
I couldn't have said any better. What is wrong with people?
Everything was lined up.
Now, if you're a Badger fan, I get it.
Well, one team is 2-0. The team they're playing this weekend is 1-1. All right.
So what do you say?
Well, it's time to roll Tide. Right? Time to roll on the Tide.
Exactly.
Oh, we'll see how the Badgers do in Alabama this weekend.
And what's the point spread? What's the point spread?
I haven't looked. Potawatomi Sportsbook. There's so many great things you can bet on.
Yeah.
Local college teams. It's excluded from those opportunities. But I do imagine that the Badgers would be a relatively healthy underdog. All right, wanted to spin the disc. Just a little bit quick walk around the league here before we get out of here and run out of time. Aaron Rodgers turns back the clock and dices up the Jets. What's real and what is not after week 1? Will Aaron Rodgers receive MVP votes this year?
Not real. He just flashed in the pan. Just he had a game, had a moment. But I think they're going to do well. I think they can win like maybe 10 games, 9 games. Well,
somebody asked me, well, what's the difference? Yeah. And I said, here's the difference. Aaron Rodgers is now playing for a professional organization. Yeah. The last 2 years he was playing for the Jets. Yeah. That is not a professional organization. Right. It's where quarterbacks go to die. Right. Nothing goes right for quarterbacks in New York. You go to the Pittsburgh Steelers, what do you have there? Stability, tradition. Longest tenured coach in the NFL, playoff roster. It's a solid team. Yeah. I have no doubt that Aaron Rodgers will have a fine season. I'm stopping short of saying that he'll receive MVP votes.
No, not happening.
Here's what he had to say after the game, because we do know this. An irritated Aaron Rodgers tends to perform well.
You spoke about the meeting with Aaron Glenn on McAfee a few months ago. Beating him, is there significance in that, since he basically told you to your face that he didn't think you were right for that team?
Yes, that's what he did.
So there's significance in beating him for you?
I was happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets.
An irritated Aaron Rodgers. No, that was not a deep fake, which we see plenty of in the post-game press conference, but an irritated Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdown passes against the Jets. Here's another question I have, looking at what happened around the league over the course of Week 1. The Chargers outplayed the Chiefs in pretty much all aspects in Brazil. That game was not as close as I believe the final score indicates. Are the Chargers now the class of the AFC West? Michelle Smallman even brought it up. Some overreaction Monday discussion about the Chiefs maybe just kind of falling to the back burner here in that division.
Well, because there's so much going on. But you're right, the AFC West right now, it feels like, Kansas City is in last place. Well, don't even play one game. But most certainly everybody's waiting for Herbert to take the next step, a lot like we were waiting for Jordan Love to take the next step. Is this year that Herbert takes the next step? I don't know. We'll see.
They need to design an entire offense around Justin Herbert. Yeah. They have failed him under Jim Harbaugh when they were just strictly sticking to the run. That dude is good.
I saw him
at fantastic.
Oregon when they beat my Badgers at the Rose Bowl.
He was the best player on the field.
Yes, he was.
There's no doubt about it. He is an outstanding quarterback you don't get to see a lot of. Mm-hmm. And final thing, it was an awful performance by Russell Wilson. How long does he hang on as the starting quarterback of the New York Giants? Wilson was 17 for 37 for 168 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, really nothing of substance. Had a few rushes. He was their leading rusher on the day. But how long can he fend off Jackson Dart as the starting quarterback of the Giants?
However long they want him to do it, but it's over, Russ. Sorry.
That's it. Russ is cooked.
He had a great career.
Russ used to cook. Now he's cooked.
Yeah, he's cooking. Either one.
We are out of time on the program. I want to thank the fine folks here at Potawatomi Sportsbook for hosting us each and every week. We are looking forward to this. This is show number 1 of hopefully 20. We will go as long as the Packers go. If they're still playing, we will still do these programs. Thanks to the fine folks here at Potawatomi Sportsbook. For Gary Ellerson, I'm Greg Matzek. Thanks to Chris Larson, Jason Wilde, Michelle Smallman. Make sure to check out our podcasts up on our YouTube page. Appreciate you listening to ESPN Wisconsin's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
Pull up to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee and shoot your shot at big wins for Sweet Ticket September. Play with your rewards card for entries. Score triple on Drawing Thursday. Win slam dunk prizes like cash, reward plate, and tickets to see the Milwaukee Bucks in action. Sweet Ticket September. You ready for this? Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.